Most people try to stay away from solitude. The rest of the people take every chance to be alone in solitude, far away from any other human being. But in today's world, or due to societal standards portrayed on people, being alone is seen as one of the clearest signs someone is feeling miserable. These people are seen or assumed to have mental illnesses. Therefore, if nobody else will explain it to people, I will. It is important to understand how to use your time when you are alone and to simultaneously realize that being alone is not a punishment, but a chance to become a better version of yourself. There are seemingly infinite ways to take advantage of this time for yourself. Simultaneously, because this is not a perfect world, there are infinite unhealthy habits to do when you are alone. In retrospect, it is your time, as small as it may be, so feel free to use it as you like. My purpose here is to give you advice. You are watching this entirely up to your free will, which shows me that you are different and want to make a change. You are now part of our community, and I welcome you to your new beginning. I'm going to present healthy alternatives to do when you are alone. It is first and foremost to bear in mind there is a historical context to being alone. The world used to be a very small place, people very spread out throughout the continents. These groups of people learned to adapt to the environment and grew their population. Although the people were not entirely alone, they were far from civilization. Hermits, seen today, use most of their time avoiding socialization. Then, there are people who choose to spend time alone to reflect or focus on their future goals. The greatest historical figures took pride in being alone, in their own thoughts. Do you think Albert Einstein would have accomplished everything he did while hanging out with other people for the majority of his day? No. A term which has been amplified in the modern world, lone wolf, is someone who prefers being alone and is a strong, independent individual. The lone wolf is the most misunderstood personality trait and type. The term was created in the aftermath of biologists studying the behavior traits of wolves. Wolves tend to stick with their pack and are very social animals. But for some reason, biologists would always come across a wolf hunting and scavenging by itself. At first glance, the theory arose that these wolves were banished from their packs. The direct opposite was the case. This type of person forges their own path and does not feel sentimental fulfillment with companionship. Knowing this, they choose this path for themselves. Einstein chose it, Kobe Bryant chose it, Elon Musk, and so on. Kobe Bryant took on the dilemma of being the lonely hunter. Kobe did not rely on his teammates to win games. He did it himself. It is not a selfish act to believe you are the best at something. Kobe held himself to the highest expectations. Imagine if a whole team did this, they would be unstoppable. This would never happen. That is why relying on what you can do in your own time is necessary. Similarly, you will choose to listen, hear, and take action or do the opposite. It is your choice. These methods are both practical strategies and have psychological applications for your mind control. So put down your phone and let me give you the best value for your day. Number 1 is to be your own best friend or guest. The purpose of this is practical. Imagine yourself as a guest in your own home when you spend time alone. What kind of treatment would you give a guest? If you were a guest, how would you talk to them? It is likely that our guests won't enjoy being around us if we are mean to them. Consequently, when we are mean to ourselves, we do not like being around ourselves. An English historian, Edward Gibbon, said conversion enriches the understanding, but solitude is the school of genius. The school of genius. You can apply self-preservation in a multitude of ways using positive thinking and affirmations to drive out happiness. Also, prepare and cook yourself a fresh, homemade meal with the same effort you would if a friend was coming over. Do not allow yourself to throw a meal into the microwave to heat it up in a minute or less. Research a meal, do the prep work, and enjoy what you have created. This type of preparation, meaning providing yourself with a good time, influences self-fulfillment. Take account of your space, and you will start taking care of yourself. The fact of the matter is, the preparation will have a strong impact on your mood and act as a meditative effect on your mind. This is a perfect start to begin with. The second ideology is realizing that everybody is united. Yes, you may be questioning what I am saying. It contradicts what this whole video is about. But you feel lonely when nobody is around you. When Friday night rolls around and you see people's stories or social media posts, and they are out at the bars or clubs throwing down shots and dancing, for example, you get the overwhelming self-pity of feeling like you are missing out, the feeling of being distant from everyone. You are far away from the excitement, the laughter, all the pleasure. This can make you suffer. The common coping mechanisms of this are to start drinking alone or loading up porn in order to distract yourself from the loneliness. Practicing Buddhist monks spend most of their time in solitude. They state that loneliness is not a thing to be conquered. It's a thing to make friends with. Then you'll be with your best friend wherever you go, your sweet red heart. See, Buddhists view loneliness as a good thing, seen as a human condition. Do not expect to find people who will understand you. This will only leave you disappointed. The best thing that you can ever do is understand yourself. Perception can be your best friend in this matter. How you perceive being alone will be the determining factor. You can perceive yourself to be disconnected from society when you are alone, or know that we are all one giant universe, we are all the same matter made up of the same atoms. Now I am asking you, do you still feel alone? Thirdly, take the time to simply think about it. Constantly staying busy and being around others 24/7 is a great method of avoiding what is happening internally. Those who you do see always hanging out with other people have a clear weakness. They do not want to confront their minds and only desire short-term pleasures. Take the time to sit and think about what you are feeling, the anxieties, what you want most, your purpose, and what you are missing. You could be missing out on adequate sleep and physical fitness. Learn what is happening inside of you. Become aware of it and allow yourself to do this. You may feel a slight discomfort in these measures, but to formulate a calm mind, you must first address what is making you feel uncomfortable. The fourth initiative is to go after your dreams and chase them. Become different. Being around other people makes us want and chase the same things as them. You have similar likes and dislikes, opinions. This is called the herd mentality. You become somebody else. Removing yourself and being alone gives you the opportunity to identify what you actually want to do. You forget what others' views are and what people will think about them. You can create a vessel of success by sacrificing the parties, the drunk nights out in the city, and the TV series binges with friends. You do not have to become a lone wolf. Just learn to appreciate the time alone and use it to your benefit. The herd mentality can be detrimental to your later success. You will try to chase a dream or passion that is not yours, but what other people in society push onto you. Forget most of what you know and try to relearn what it means to be you. Relearning yourself as an individual takes time and deals with finding your purpose. Because right now you are probably unhappy with where you are in life right now. Confused, unsettled, and maybe even scared. You wake up in the morning and say to yourself, how do I know what I want to do without knowing where I want to go? This is a question pondered by everyone, from a 15-year-old starting high school and beginning to have real-world experiences, to the everyday middle-aged father or mother who does not take enough time for themselves or who is debating their passions and their future vision. Whoever you are, if you do not know what you want to do, this past video I have created will be for you. Go check another one of my videos where I teach you and ask you only 5 questions that will allow you to find your purpose. 5 questions for the rest of your life. I will leave you with this. Being alone can be a difficult thing to come to terms with, especially in a world that often values social connections and companionship. But the truth is, being alone can be a powerful and transformative experience. It is an opportunity to get to know yourself better, understand your own thoughts and feelings, and learn how to be comfortable with yourself. One of the most important things to understand is that being alone does not mean being lonely. Loneliness is a feeling that arises when we feel disconnected from others, while alone simply means being by yourself. The two are not the same thing, and it is possible to be alone without feeling lonely. When we are alone, we can focus on our needs and wants. We can pursue our passions and interests, learn new things, and develop new skills. We can also use the time to reflect on our lives, think about what is important to us, and set future goals. Being alone can also help us to become more self-sufficient and independent. We learn how to rely on ourselves and to make our own decisions rather than always looking to others for guidance and support. This can be especially valuable in relationships as it allows us to bring our own strength and talents to the table rather than always being dependent on the other person. It is also important to remember that being alone is not a permanent state. We will always have the opportunity to connect with others and form new relationships. But by taking the time to be alone and to get to know ourselves better, we will be better equipped to navigate the world around us and to make meaningful connections with others. So instead of fearing being alone, embrace it. Use it as an opportunity to grow and develop as a person. And remember that you are never truly alone, as you always have yourself, and that is the most important relationship of all. Once again, thanks for watching, and know that your mind is your prison and you are the only one in control of it.